Hello and welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. My name's Addie and today we are back with another speed build. Today we are renovating one of the default lots that comes with Windenburg, that comes with The Sims 4 Get Together. And this was a process. It's not a bad house, it's just a bad everything else. And so there's a lot of just staring. And like the floor plan, not good. Doesn't make sense. It is a limited pack build, so we only are building with Growing Together, Spa Day, and I forget what else. Vintage Glamour. That's right. Spa Day and Vintage Glamour. And then obviously like the base game. You can't play the game without the base game. But yeah, it's definitely like a unique kind of build, not my normal kind of thing that I like to do. I was having some issues with the game lagging a lot. So please pardon that if you see it. It's just what the game was doing. And then inside we end up changing the whole color scheme. And then we also end up changing pretty much the whole floor plan. It's much better in my personal humble opinion. Whatever is going on here is definitely giving like 2017 The Sims, if you know what I mean. And this is where we kind of start coming in and deleting everything because I just did not want to deal with it. Like there's a level of like, oh, I could try to keep that. This was not one of those times. The whole place just does not make a lot of sense. And so we just really came in and deleted everything. Doors, windows end up getting deleted. Walls, like the whole thing is just super weird. And this was the time in The Sims where they were doing like faux rooms, and so there was like a split in the room in like the main living space without there actually being like a split in the room. So it was just like an invisible wall, and this part of the room was not actually a room, so that was also interesting. And then I decided to change the foundation from a base game one to a get together one because, like, why are you having, like, what? I don't know. Like, why are you using a base game one when there's, like, an equally good one from the pack? And then we get a bunch of lights, and then I stare at it for a hot minute and realize that I have to change the entire floor plan. So we're just gonna finish getting rid of everything before I do that. We're getting my tags back. And I tried to do this flooring and like that initial one, it was just nasty. It looked like horrid mustard, but like leftover mustard. And we are getting like a little bit of a floor plan back now. So we do that, and then I decide to kind of create like a little bump in for that bedroom so that it mirrors the other one. So that way the second bedroom, the second kid's bedroom, doesn't need its door to be in the hole, in the corner, not in a hole. And we are painting everything. The kitchen was actually kind of fun. Because it's like sunken. It's a sunken kitchen and dining space. And I think that's kind of cool. And we are moving into the bedrooms temporarily to get the, well, like the doors and stuff, but we'll be moving back out to the living space. And I do get rid of that pink tree decal that's on the wall right there. But apparently not immediately. I was gonna get a stair railing, and then I decided not to because it's in the walls. So like in real life you would need a stair railing, but this is The Sims. We don't care about safety around here. So that didn't happen. And I decided to get rid of this situation. But it's, yeah, I don't know. The floor plan of this house was just very unique. Not really something that I would want to do in real life. More deleting of objects out here. And then I think we start moving into the kitchen. Alright, so I actually, took a break and came back to it. I had to do a test for my human growth and development class, so we are back. We are working on the kitchen now, and I actually really like how this house turned out. I think it's kind of cool. I think that this is a much better use of the space rather than having massive bedrooms, having the bigger living space. Nowadays people prefer bigger living spaces because we're getting back to the communal stuff. And so we have a big kitchen, double stoves. I did double stoves because I never do them. So I thought it would be kind of an interesting thing and different change than I normally do. And I end up putting cabinets on the wall with the sink as well. So we end up only having 3. Here we go. So I am doing that. And then I move everything up because it didn't quite line up the way that I wanted it to. So we do that. And then we get rid of all the windows and put in better windows because the windows that originally came with the house suck. And there's a light randomly out there, so we get rid of that as well. And some people might be have this as like a controversial opinion, but the dining room is also on tile. But I thought it made sense because it's supposed to be like a different space, right? Like you might want the kitchen to be in tile, but not the dining space, but to me it's all one space because it's all sunken. So I decided to not care, frankly. And we're kind of laying stuff out right now. We'll come back and furnish actually in a little bit. But we get a bookshelf, lots of bookshelves around here. And don't worry, I do end up changing the color of the staircase, just not yet. We're getting everything back, all my stuff, all my tags back, and then we are moving on to the stairs. These stairs are my favorite for indoors because they just look the best. The Sims did not get those until 5 years ago, which is weird that it's been that long, but that's the truth. And so they did not have these when The Sims came out with Get Together. Anyway, so we are kind of adjusting stuff, and I square off the upstairs because it just felt like there were so many bump outs that it was kind of turning into I don't know, something else. And so we get rid of that, and I end up changing out the railing because we are using limited packs, but we're not using only get-togethers. So we changed that out. And then I'm changing the color of the staircase, changing out the railing, getting the railing on the one side. They really wanted a flat roof, so I decided to honor that with them. And we have a flat roof up here. It's kind of asymmetrical, which is kind of cool to me. And then I do end up getting rid of all of the columns. I feel like floating is a little bit better for this house. And then more platforms. I wish the get-together, I wish that like the base game had come with platforms, because I think that the get-together world could have been so cool if it had platforms. You know what I mean? So we have platforms, and then we are going through and getting like touches and stuff. And then I decide to change the color of the whole build because this like gray-brown ickiness going on, don't love her. And we get different windows because those ones are bad. And there's lots of lights around for some reason. Like, I know that I got rid of everything, but like, I don't know, man, that seems like a lot of lights. But also I think just that like, they had a lot of patio space, and no wonder everything was so empty because I literally didn't know how to fill it up. So I got rid of the third balcony over on the other side. Got rid of it completely because I was like, I don't know how you're supposed to like fill all this space up. So we have an external, we have like a patio leading out from the primary bedroom, and then a back patio with like stuff for the kids. Not that your kids couldn't use the other space, but the back patio has more like, I don't know, it has more like kids stuff, you know, that kids can actually do, gardening, monkey bars, you know, that sort of thing, a table. No grill up there because there's a table up on the other one, so I just figured like you don't need two grills. And then we are working on the bathroom. This bathroom is kind of small. This is the kids' bathroom, so it's not exactly the most interesting of bathrooms, but it works. And then up here is the primary bedroom. The kids' bedrooms are going to be like so colorful, and the rest of the house is just like beige, gray, black and white kind of deal, and I think that that's kind of funny. But I'm glad that these parents give their kids like free reign to decorate their bedrooms, because I think that sometimes parents don't do that. But this first room is going to be yellow, and then the twins room is going to be kind of like both. So we have two beds in there, obviously, and they're different colors. One is the lesbian flag and one is the genderqueer flag. So we kind of meet in the middle with a pink and purple kind of color scheme, which is cute to me. So we do that, and then we are coming back and furnishing the living spaces now. And there's just quite a bit going on here. It's a lot of black and white. There's no curtains that fit these windows, so we just didn't do it. I almost made it green, and I was like, why does it look like that? And I was gonna add some flowers, but they were too colorful, so we just didn't. But I do get a couple flowers over here on the counter. We get some like purple flowers, which is nice. They're like dark purple though, so they're not super interesting and they don't really stand out, but that was kind of the point. Then I was gonna get a plant, but I don't know what plant I end up getting for the dining space. Maybe it was the flowers. Maybe it was like the purple flowers. Yeah, we get the purple flowers over there as well, apparently. So some purple flowers over here, and then on the dining table, and then I don't remember what we get over here. We get all the alarms. We're not using seasons, so I didn't put a thermostat. If you have seasons, you can put a thermostat. Oh, we just get a lamp because they're boring. Another plant because they're boring. And then we don't really have like entry clutter. I just get a lamp, I think, and that's kind of it for the entry. In this hallway, I did decide to keep it closed off because I felt like it was better to have like a smaller place that you could to like decorate, more walls, more stuff going on. And then this room, this one I actually really like. It's very yellow in here, and we put like a couple of accent walls. And then we get, I don't remember which ones I used. Which side tables? Oh, I guess I used these ones because they had the same wood color. And then we get this, which is super expensive. Don't need that in here, but I put it in here anyway. The wardrobe, also yellow. Lots of yellow in here, like I said. We get rid of this mirror, and they get a bigger mirror, kind of next to the where the desk is now. They end up getting a mirror because I wanted this easel. I think it's super pretty, but I wanted an easel for this sim. And so I just decided to get rid of the mirror, and then I was like, no, but they should have like a mirror because like they're a teenager, you know? So then we go through and we kind of look at all the options for couches, and I just decided to get a love seat from the base game because honestly, like sometimes you just need a love seat from the base game and there's not really much else you can do about that. Another plant in the corner, it's this yellow one, super pretty. I don't use it very much because I think it's kind of hard to fit, but I felt like it fit in this space. I wanted something kind of big, but not that big, and I feel like that was kind of, it like flared out at the top. We like that. And then I decided to get those, these are my favorite lamps because they're super simple. They've got plain swatches and pattern swatches, and those swatches are orange to go with the, what is it called? To go with the seat at the desk, but they're like diamond, so they match the wallpaper, and I thought that was kind of perfect. And then I was getting kind of like rainbow from this room, so we decided to kind of split up the rainbow and do like a pink and purple kind of color scheme in here. There's accents of orange, accents of green, but for the most part it's pink and purple. So we have this sim who's into like drawing, and then we have the other sim. I guess they are kind of into I guess they would kind of be into like science. I gave them a science table. So the pink and orange bed is the lesbian flag, in case you are not familiar, and the green and purple one is the genderqueer flag, in case you're not familiar. We go with the purple. I was gonna go with like a peachy color, and then I felt like that was too much with the other other bed. So we get rid of that, but we do get a teal wall. And I feel like teal goes good with all the colors in here, so that's why I kind of chose that one. It was kind of different than what I normally do. And then we get a couple of lights along with the science table. I'm so glad that they added more colors because I use this specific color all the time. And I felt like the lesbian bed sim was gonna have like a very vibrant color scheme, and she does. Like, she is the most vibrant color scheme. And then the genderqueer one is kind of less into the colors. But they are into science and like maybe they play soccer, I don't know. So we have like a soccer poster and a reading poster, and then we get the rainbow curtains because we don't have curtains anywhere else, and I thought that they kind of worked in this room, so we added them. And I'm not really sure what I ended up putting on this wall because I put these. That's right. And I made it so the pink one is in the middle because I feel like they both like pink to some capacity. And then the blue one's on the lesbian side because she doesn't really have a lot of blue on her side. And the yellowish orangish one was on the genderqueer side because they don't have a lot of orangey yellow. But I like both of the rooms. I think they're super cool. And then I did cut out the bathrooms a little bit because this one was getting up there in time, and like I can talk a lot, but I'm coming to the end of my day, and at the end of the day, I really don't like talking to people, and that includes myself. So we just cut those out. But this is the primary bedroom, and it is actually really, there's a lot going on up here. Normally I don't really put a lot in the bedrooms, but like in the primary bedrooms, but I actually really like it. This sim has a vanity. We end up moving it because I forgot to put a door out to the patio. But don't worry, we'll add that. They have a mirror. It's one of the backlit ones, but it's white because they're boring. And they have a black railing for the stairs because again, they're boring. But we use a lot of the what do you call it? Vintage glamour pack because it has like a bed and dressers and stuff. And I was gonna put a chess table, and then I decided to put that on the patio. And instead we get a games table. But this is when I realized I forgot a door. So we're doing that really quick before we get the, I think we get like a desk, and then we get like a games table as well. And I think that's kind of the extent of what's going on up here, but it's more than I normally do. Like normally we have like nothing going on in our primary bedrooms. They even have a closet. These Sims are living the dream. But yeah, so they have a separate desk computer space. Maybe one of the Sims works from home. Work from home was not even on the radar of the Sims team when this came out, but here we are. More plain plain gray paintings. And then I decided to get rid of the second love seat and put a thing, and then I decided I didn't like it, so we just left it there empty. Hopefully it doesn't bother you too much. And this is where we get the games table, because I felt like if any Sim is going to have a games table in the primary bedroom, this is the space to do it. And then this bathroom I did not cut out because it was kind of a struggle, and I think that it's kind of fun to see the struggle sometimes. Struggle kind of loosely. It's more interesting than just like putting shit random places. So we just, yeah, so kind of interesting. And we are moving to this patio up here. And I thought it was kind of interesting because I don't really do big patios like this. Usually if I do like a patio, it's usually like smaller, significantly smaller. But yeah, so this one was kind of interesting. They've got an outdoor kitchen and 2 chess tables, an easel, and the hot tub. So they've got a lot going on up there. And then down here is the kids one. Not that the kids, again, aren't allowed upstairs, but they've got more stuff down here. So, like I said, monkey bars and a table, and that's kind of it down here. But I figure like the kids would probably enjoy having a space separate from the adults. And then moving upstairs, we have, like I said, we have a lot going on up here. We get a bar, we have a big kitchen kind of space out here. And I actually really like this bar. I wish it didn't have the logo, but I mean, like, you can't really control that, so we put up with it. It has a sink, trash cans, the whole thing. I don't think that in real life or in The Sims I would spend a lot of time up here, but it's cool for people who like to entertain, because I know that some people are not like quiet little beans. Some of us like to be hermits. But yeah, so I'm trying to like figure out a way to fill up some space, because there's just a lot of it, you know? So we do this with some planters. These are actually from the base game. They got updated. They were put in probably like 2021, so it's been a long time. But here comes the hot tub, and it is undercover. I'm aware of that. And then it also has a cover, and I am aware of that as well, but that's fine. We don't really need to worry about that too much. If you hear crying, it's just my cat. He's been extra needy today because I've been spending a lot of time at my computer. He did try to eat several times. He tried to eat my cherries, which, if you're not familiar, cherries are very bad for kitties and dogs, just all of them together, but especially for kitties, because they can cause blockages in their tummy, and that's like an $8,000 surgery that we don't really have money for at all in any capacity. So we are trying to avoid him eating random stuff, but he is 2, and he has the brain of a little tiny toddler, so and he won't ever grow past that, so we're just trying to work with it. But yeah, so he likes to play with them, but I'm a little bit anxious about it, because my brain is like, what if he eats the seed? What if he eats the egg, you know? And that's just not fun. So we just remove him from the vicinity when cherries are around, because he's obsessed. But yeah, so we are going around finishing landscaping, terrain paint, all of that jazz. We are coming to kind of the end of the video now. There's not a lot left, just dirt, basically. But if you liked it, if you would like and subscribe, that would really mean a lot. My gallery is still being kind of funky and would not let me upload this, so it is not currently available. But there's a bunch of other stuff, so if you want to look through it, more than welcome. Nobody can stop you. Anyway, if you liked it, if you would like and subscribe, that would really mean a lot, and I will see all of you next time. Bye now.